Today, we're going to make some bistro food. Chicken Marsala. Now, this dish started out as Veal Marsala in the 1800s, when it most likely originated with English families who lived in western Sicily, where Marsala wine is produced. And it was Veal Marsala back then. Well, it's since become more popular to use chicken instead of veal, and although I have made both versions, I really prefer this chicken breast version. It's more tender, and chicken is more readily available than veal. For this most elegant bistro-style dish, very simple dish I might add, in this reduced recipe for two, you're going to need about a 7 to 8 ounce boneless chicken breast, which, by the way, I've pounded out to about 3/8 of an inch. Flour, we're going to season with granulated garlic, kosher salt and black pepper, unsalted butter, olive oil, a cup of sliced white mushrooms, a couple of tablespoons of shallots thin sliced, a clove of garlic thin sliced like Polly did in Goodfellas, you know. Half cup of Marsala wine, half cup of low sodium chicken stock, and half a cup of cream and fresh chopped parsley. Now to start, you're going to mix together 1 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper. In a flat bowl, you're going to mix all that together. Now for the chicken breast, I personally like to butterfly it sometimes, then pound it down to a 1/4 of an inch. Today all I did was I took the breast and pounded it down to about 3/8 of an inch. But it's up to you. So make sure the chicken is dry. Then you want to coat it in the flour. Turn it over a couple of times. Hit the edges. And you really want to pat off any excess. You don't want it real thick. You don't want it to taste like flour. You just want to put some flour on it, seasoned flour for flavor, and to you're going to help it brown. Put it on a clean plate, and let's go cook. All right, let's place a medium to large skillet over medium heat, depending on how many chicken breasts you're doing at the same time. I'm doing one because it's just for Loretta and I, and we split it half the time anyway. So now what you're going to do is you're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. You put the olive oil in first, and it's going to help the butter not burn. And let the oil get hot because we're going to put the chicken breast in. We're going to want to brown it. Place the chicken breast in the oil and saute until nice and brown. Lay it away from you so you don't get splashed with hot oil. And remember, the chicken breast we dusted with flour a little bit earlier. You let it go probably 2 to 3 minutes on one side. We did pound it down so it's not real thick. After about 2.5–3 minutes, turn it over. Let it go for at least a couple of minutes on the other side. When you do turn it over, season a little bit with salt and pepper. It's 165 inside. Turn off the heat. Place it on a nice clean plate and stick it in the oven while you're making the sauce. Now I like to drain off the excess oil. Add some new butter. And add the mushrooms, about a cup of sliced mushrooms. Turn the heat back on. To medium-low, probably. Because you want to let these mushrooms saute, but you're going to want them to kind of caramelize. Get a spot more of oil. And once they get going, put in your sliced shallots. Stir those around and let it go 5-6 minutes. After the mushrooms and shallots have gone about 5-6 minutes, throw in sliced garlic, stir that around a little bit for about 30 seconds. Turn up the heat to about medium. Take it off the fire and add about half a cup of marsala. Let it burn off a little bit. Start to reduce. Add your chicken stock. Bring it to a simmer. And you're going to let it reduce a little bit. After 4 or 5 minutes, mushrooms, the shallots, the stock, and the marsala have simmered, starting to reduce. Add your chopped parsley and let it go a little longer. After 5-6 minutes, add the cream. Stir it in. Turn the heat down a little bit. Bring it back to a simmer and reduce it a little more. You notice the marsala and the stock, the mushrooms, for that, reduced down by about half. That's the key to these sauces. And I didn't put any thickener in it. There's a little flour on the chicken breast, of course. As it starts to thicken a little bit. Let's put our chicken breast back in that we've had warming. And you notice I cut them in half because Loretta and I are splitting this. Any juice is left in there. And start to baste the breasts with this sauce as it thickens. Turn off the heat and let's get ready to plate.